All right, now we're going to take a look at graphing a cubic function and a translation or shift, a vertical shift of one as well. So we want to graph f of x equal negative x cubed. There is a 4-point cubic tool that allows you to do that. So you select the tool, and with the cubic tool, you want to make sure that you plot the point, whatever it is that's being cubed. So in this case, it's simply x. You want to make sure the expression being cubed, you find the value of x that makes that 0. So since you're just cubing x, x is 0 when x is 0. So you want to plot the point where x is 0. So you cube 0 and you get 0. You multiply by negative 1 and you get 0. So this is one of the points. Now you'll want to plot a point so many units to the right of that, and the exact same number of units to the left. So those will be two other points that you'll want to plot. So I'm going to plot the point where x is 1, and then the point where x is negative 1. So these points need to be the same distance from the very first point you plot. So when x is 1, I cube 1 to get my y, and then I multiply, so 1 cubed is 1, and then I multiply by negative 1. So when x is 1, I have 1 times negative 1, which is negative 1. So I get the point 1, negative 1. I move 1 unit right, that's the x of 1, and then the y is the cube of 1 times negative 1, which is negative 1. So I move 1 unit down. So that's the second point. Now I want to plot the point that's 1 unit away from my first point in the opposite direction. So I plotted a point that was 1 unit to the right of the very first point I plotted. Now I want to plot a point 1 unit left. So the x of this point is negative 1. So when I cube negative 1, I get negative 1 times negative 1 times negative 1, and that result is negative 1. Then I'm multiplying that by negative 1. So then I get a positive 1. So when x is negative 1, y is positive 1. So that's the third point. And I have to plot one more point, and that will give me the cubic function. So I'm going to let x equal to 2. So I cube 2 to get my y on f. I cube 2 and I get 8. And then I multiply by negative 1 to get negative 8. So when x is 2, y is negative 8. So I go down to negative 8. And I can look in that yellow band, top right portion of the yellow band, to make sure I'm at the point I think I'm at. I click, and that's my cubic graph. So I need to also graph negative x cubed plus 3. So this is a vertical shift 3 units up of f of x. So G is the graph of f of x shifted 3 units up. So I'm going to take every point on, I'm going to pick the same function again, and I'm going to take the 3 points I just plotted, and I'm simply going to make no change in the x's, but I'm going to add 3 to the value of y. On the graph, that means I'm going to move 1, 2, 3 units up. I'll go to x equal negative 1, and I'm going to move, I go to the point on the graph. From that point, I move 1, 2, 3 units up, and I click. I'm going to go to negative 1, 1. 1, negative 1. And I'm going to move 1, 2, 3 units up. That's my third point. And this is a 4-point cubic, so I need to do one more point. I'm going to go to that 2, -8. And I'm going to move 1, 2, 3 units up and click. Save. So those are the two functions. Check my answer. And G is the graph of F shifted 3 units vertically up. Okay, so that is how I do how I use MyMathLab tool to graph the cubic function.